This is Joe Balestrino with the 5 Under 5 Marketing Podcast, where I attempt to give you 5 great marketing tips in under 5 minutes. Today I want to talk about Google Grant accounts, and this will be a two-parter. In this episode, I want to talk about the new things that Google requires in grant accounts that they implemented in 2018. And then the next episode, I'll talk about 5 actionable things that you can do to help comply with these changes. So if you're a nonprofit and you've gotten a notice that you're, at risk for losing your grant account for not complying to the terms, you may not understand what the new terms are. So I'm going to go through them right now. There's actually 6 of them. The first one is your AdWords account must have a click-through rate of 5%. So on whole, your average click-through rate must be 5%. You can't advertise on branded keywords unless they're your own brand. So you can't, if there's another nonprofit that's similar to yours that's in the same industry, you can't advertise on their name. You can't use single keywords in an ad group. So if your nonprofit was about dancing, giving, free dance classes for children, you couldn't advertise on the word dance. You have to geo-target your campaigns. If you're a dance class, for example, and your studio's in New York City, you can't advertise in Chicago. Doesn't make sense. But if you sell a product that's nationwide or global, you'll be able to do that in most cases. The quality score of your keywords has to be at least a 3, and you must have 2 site link extensions active in your campaigns. So I'll go through all of these again. So the first one is 5% click-through rate. If you have a lot of impressions and a low click-through rate, that just means that the keywords you're advertising on when people see your ad, it's not what they're searching for. And so that's a signal to Google that there's a lot of irrelevancy going on. So as a nonprofit, you want your ads to be as relevant to what people are searching because there's a goal at the end, right? There's a goal. You want to get more signups, more newsletter requests, more donations, more people volunteering. If you're not tracking the keywords and you're not focusing specifically on the keywords that you're trying to go after and you're just going after broad terms, you're not going to get the desired outcome. So you would want your ads and your keywords to be as relevant as possible to the searches. Branded keywords is just Google's way of saying that, you want to do that kind of stuff, you'd have to spend your own money to do it, which you can. Avoid using single keywords. It just goes back to relevancy. If dance is just really too broad, but dance classes for children is a little bit more specific, more in line with what you do, and therefore what the audience is actually looking for. Geo-targeting just makes sense. If you're a studio in New York, why would you want to advertise to anyone outside of New York? Quality score, even if you weren't a nonprofit and your quality score was low, 3 or less, I would pause it. Or if they're really important, create better landing pages so that the landing pages and the keywords match up better so that you can improve that quality score. And site link extensions is just a great way to not only expand your ad to make it bigger and take up more real estate, but also help people get deeper into your website. So maybe you have an ad that talks about in general about the nonprofit, and maybe you have a link to volunteering opportunities, or join our newsletter, or learn more about the cause, stuff like that. So these are all important things to keep in mind if you're having problems with your Google Grant account. Now, again, the next episode, I'll talk into more about the actionable things that you can do to stay within compliance of your Google Grant account. So if you have questions about this episode or something you want me to cover in a future episode, email me at joe@joebalestrino.com. Thanks.